You don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you are. That's the secret. And once you understand it, the game changes forever. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants more. More money, more freedom, more happiness. But here's what most never realize. Success is not something you chase. Success is something you attract. By the person you become. That's the real law of attraction. And tonight, I want to walk you through it. Not the magic version you read in books, but the real version. The one that works. And it's not wishful thinking. It's personal development. It's your philosophy, your attitude, your mindset. Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Now, that's a phrase that stopped me in my tracks when I first heard it. And if you really hear it, not just with your ears, but with your mind, it can change the entire course of your life. Most people are trying to grab success like it's some balloon floating out of reach. But I learned, if you want to catch it, you don't chase it, you become it. You see, success is not about chance. It's not even about talent. It's about transformation. You attract success when you become someone who deserves it. And you become someone who deserves it by practicing discipline, by improving your philosophy, by showing up every day and doing what's right. Especially when it's hard. That's when things begin to shift. Most people are trying to change their income, trying to fix their relationships, trying to improve their status. But what they forget is this: nothing changes until you do. Success is always looking for a good place to land, but if you haven't prepared the soil, the seeds won't grow. If you want the fruit, you've got to tend to the tree. Let me tell you something simple, but it's powerful. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. That one sentence changed the way I looked at life. I stopped blaming circumstances. I stopped complaining about how tough it was. Instead, I started asking a better question. How can I grow strong enough to handle this? That shift in mindset, that's what separates those who struggle from those who succeed. You want to become more attractive to success. Then build a better version of you. Upgrade your mindset. Upgrade your habits. Upgrade your associations. Because success doesn't respond to want. It responds to value. And the more valuable you become, the more opportunity you attract. Not because of luck, but because you've become the kind of person success can't ignore. For things to change, you have to change. That's not motivational fluff, that's law. You want more income. Become more valuable in the marketplace. You want better relationships. Become a person of deeper character. You want more peace. Then build discipline in your mind. That's how it works. It starts with you. It always starts with you. Think of yourself like a magnet. What you pull into your life is directly related to who you are inside. That's why the law of attraction works best when it's built on the law of becoming. You can't sit in a corner wishing for a better life while remaining the same person. You attract what you are, not what you want. Now, how do you start becoming this better version of yourself? You don't have to do it overnight, but you do have to begin. Read a book that stretches your thinking. Write down your goals with clarity. Cut out one bad habit. Wake up an hour earlier. Exercise your will. Every small act of discipline is a signal that says, I'm growing. And when you grow, the world notices. Opportunities come into view that weren't visible before. You meet people who never would have crossed your path when you were stagnant. And success begins to feel less like a mounting and more like a mirror. Because the more you reflect excellence, the more excellence reflects back to you. Remember, success is not something you apply for. It's something you prepare for. You don't get promoted to the next level of life by accident. You get promoted when you've earned it. When you've outgrown your old thinking, your old patterns, your old self, that's when the next level opens up. But here's the beautiful thing. You don't need anyone's permission to grow. You don't need the perfect background, the perfect timing, or the perfect resources. What you need is a decision. A quiet, powerful decision to become more. Because once you decide up, the process begins. And the process, my friend, is the real reward, because every day that you grow, you become more magnetic. You carry yourself differently. You speak with more purpose. You walk into a room and people feel something different about you. That's what becoming a person of value looks like. So if you want to attract success effortlessly, don't chase it. Don't beg for it. Don't wait around for it. Instead, build yourself into the kind of person success is looking for. Because success has a habit of finding those who are ready. You don't get in life what you want. You get what you believe you deserve. Let that sink in for a moment. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe you deserve. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, wait, Jim, isn't about working hard? Isn't about hustle and grind? Yes, absolutely. But here's the thing. If your belief system isn't aligned with your goals, you'll always hit a wall. It's like trying to drive with the parking brake on. It doesn't matter how fast you push the accelerator, you won't go anywhere. So, let me ask you, what do you believe you deserve? We all have a set of beliefs, often formed early in life, that shape what we think we're capable of. These beliefs can be empowering or they can be limiting. The problem is, too many people go through life without questioning those beliefs. They don't stop to ask, are these beliefs serving me? Do I really believe I can have the success I want? Or am I settling for what I think I deserve? Your beliefs are the foundation of everything you do. If you believe you're worth nothing, your actions will reflect that. If you believe you deserve success, your actions will reflect that too. The problem is, many people have been conditioned by their past, by their environment, or even by others to think small. They've been told, you're not good enough. You'll never make it. You're lucky to have what you have. And you know what? If you listen to those voices long enough, they become your inner voice. But here's the key, you are not what others have told you. You are what you believe you are. Let me ask you another question. Are you settling for a life that is less than what you're capable of? You see, success doesn't happen in a vacuum. You're not just attracting things based on the work you put in. It's also about your inner alignment. Do you believe you deserve the rewards that come with the effort you put forth? Do you believe the success that you've dreamed of is for someone else, but not for you? You don't get in life what you want. You get what you believe you deserve. This isn't just a nice saying. It's a fundamental truth. And the moment you truly believe you deserve success, your behavior changes. You walk taller. You speak more confidently. You set bigger goals. You take bigger risks. And most importantly, you start expecting good things to come to you because you believe they are supposed to. Think about it for a moment. What would you do differently today if you truly believed you deserved all the success you've ever dreamed of? The truth is, your belief system is the filter through which everything in your life flows. If you don't believe you deserve success, you'll sabotage your own efforts. If you don't believe you deserve happiness, you'll overlook it when it shows up. You won't take full advantage of opportunities. But when you start believing that you're worthy of success, worthy of wealth, worthy of respect, that's when everything begins to shift. So, how do you start believing in yourself? How do you begin to raise your standard of what you deserve? First, you have to challenge those old beliefs. You have to ask yourself, where did these beliefs come from? Are they true? Do they still serve me? Let me ask you again, what do you believe you deserve? You deserve success. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve financial freedom. You deserve to live a life of purpose. But it all begins with belief. When you truly believe in your worth, when you believe you deserve what you're striving for, your actions become unstoppable. You'll make different choices. You'll take different actions. And you'll see opportunities where others only see obstacles. And guess what? The universe begins to respond to that energy. It's as though everything you need to succeed starts to show up, because you've finally tuned yourself to the frequency of success. So I want you to commit to this thought today. I am worthy of all the good things life has to offer. Now, one last question for you. What small step can you take today to prove to yourself that you believe in your own worth? Start small. Start with one thing. But start today, because you don't get what you want in life. You get what you believe you deserve. Think about that for a moment. Now, I'm not talking about physical proximity. I'm talking about energy. I'm talking about vibration. We all have a certain frequency we operate on, and that frequency is something we attract. You see, success isn't just about what you do. It's about what you become. And who you become is influenced by the energy you project and the energy you surround yourself with. Do you understand the power of energy in your life? I mean, we can talk about goals and strategies all day long, but until you understand how to harness the invisible force of energy, you're only using half your potential. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the mood shift? Maybe it was positive energy that made you feel at ease. Or perhaps it was negative energy that made you feel tense and uncomfortable. This isn't magic, it's energy. And the truth is, whether we realize it or not, we're all broadcasting an energy that attracts similar energy back to us. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what kind of energy are you radiating into the world? Is it positive, confident, and abundant? Or is it negative, uncertain, and fearful? We are constantly sending out vibrations, whether we're aware of it or not. And guess what? Those vibrations are attracting back to us more of what we're putting out. If you're constantly vibrating at a level of fear, doubt, or scarcity, that's what you'll attract more of. But when you operate at a frequency of gratitude, positivity, and abundance, you draw that same energy right back into your life. Think of it like a magnet. If you want to attract success, you have to raise your personal vibration to a higher frequency. And how do you do that? By focusing on what you want, not what you don't want. By focusing on possibilities, not problems. By becoming a person who vibrates at the frequency of abundance. What kind of frequency are you operating on right now? If you're not where you want to be in life, perhaps it's time to take a step back and evaluate energy you're putting out. Are you aligned with your dreams? Or are you sending out mixed signals to the universe? It's time to be honest with yourself about the energy you're bringing to the table. Now, let's talk about the subtle art of attraction. This isn't some mystical force. This is about the law of attraction. The universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are. And that's why, when you align your internal energy with your goals, success becomes almost inevitable. It's not magic. It's science. Everything is energy. And energy attracts energy. So if you want to attract success, you need to become the kind of person who vibrates with success. What do you need to change within yourself to become a match for the life you want to live? You see, success doesn't just come from working hard. It comes from becoming the right person for success to find. Success looks for a person who believes in themselves, who radiates confidence, who is generous with their time and energy. When you raise your vibration, you start seeing the world through a different lens. Suddenly, opportunities that once seemed out of reach become attainable. People who were once too busy to help you start showing up at the right time, and doors you never thought possible start opening for you. Now, let's make this real for a moment. Have you ever noticed that when you're in a good mood, things just seem to flow more smoothly? When you're in a positive state, everything aligns. Your day seems to go better. You meet the right people. You find solutions to problems that seemed insurmountable. But when you're in a negative state, it's like the world is pushing against you. The key difference is the energy you're emitting. When you vibrate at a higher frequency, you become more attractive to the success, opportunities, and people that align with your goals. So, how do you begin to master this invisible force? First, be intentional about your energy. Start with your thoughts. If you want to raise your vibration, begin by focusing on the positive aspects of your life. Gratitude is a powerful energy raiser. The more you practice gratitude, the higher your vibration becomes. What are you grateful for today? When you shift your thoughts to what you appreciate, your energy starts to vibrate at a higher frequency. And that's when the magic happens. The law of attraction starts working for you because you've changed your internal energy field. You've aligned yourself with the life you want. What's one action you can take today to raise your vibration? Maybe it's a small habit, like going for a walk in nature. Maybe it's reading something positive or listening to a motivational speech. Or maybe it's simply taking a moment to appreciate where you are right now and where you've come from. The more you focus on what you want and how good it feels, the more you'll attract that into your life. You are not just attracting success with your actions, my friend. You're attracting success with your energy. So, raise your vibration, elevate your thinking, become the person who can magnetically pull success into your life. The clearer you are about what you want, the more likely you are to get it. Think about that for a moment. When you have clarity, everything becomes easier. Decisions become simpler. Actions become more intentional. Without clarity, you're like a ship without a rudder, drifting in every direction, never quite sure where you're headed. But when you have a clear vision of your goals, the path to success unfolds naturally. Let me ask you, do you know exactly what you want out of life? It's a simple question, yet so many people find it difficult to answer. They know what they don't want, but they haven't fully defined what they do want. And without that clarity, how can you attract success? Success is attracted to those who know exactly where they're going and how they plan to get there. Clarity is the foundation of all achievement. When you have a clear vision of your future, you begin to act with purpose. Every step you take becomes aligned with your end goal. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter and start focusing only on what brings you closer to your dreams. Think about the most successful people in the world. What do they have in common? One thing is for sure. They all have a clear vision of what they want. They know exactly where they're going. And because of that clarity, every decision they make, every move they take, is calculated and focused. What would happen if you got crystal clear about your goals today? What if you defined with absolute precision what success looks like for you? How would your life change if you knew exactly where you wanted to go and you started taking steps in that direction? The truth is, success would start to move toward you. Opportunities would present themselves. You would attract people and circumstances that align with your vision. Now, let's dig deeper. What's holding you back from clarity? Sometimes, the lack of clarity comes from fear. Fear of failure. Fear of making the wrong choice. But here's something important to remember. The clearer your goals, the less room there is for fear to take hold. When you know what you want, you can face challenges with confidence because you're focused on the bigger picture. How much time do you spend on distractions that don't align with your true goals? If you're honest with yourself, distractions are one of the biggest enemies of clarity. Social media, negative influences, people who don't support your dreams. All of these things cloud your vision. But when you decide to cut out the noise and focus on what truly matters, your path becomes clear. Here's the key. Clarity is not a one-time event. It's a process. It requires you to regularly revisit your goals and ensure you're still on the right path. It's about consistently reminding yourself of your vision and adjusting your course as necessary. What actions can you take right now to bring more clarity into your life? Maybe it's writing down your goals. Maybe it's eliminating distractions. Or maybe it's simply sitting in quiet reflection and asking yourself, what do I truly want? The important thing is that you take time to define your vision, because that vision will drive your actions and eventually your success. Remember this, success doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you get clear about what you want and you take consistent, focused action toward that goal. So, ask yourself, are you clear about where you're going? If not, it's time to get clear. And when you do, the path will open up before you. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of visualization, meditation, and planning. You've probably heard countless people talk about how they visualize their success or manifest their dreams. But here's the hard truth. If you're not taking action, your dreams will remain just that, dreams. You can visualize success all day, you can speak about it endlessly, but without action, nothing happens. Let me ask you, how often do you take consistent, focused action toward your goals? Are you actively working toward your vision, or are you waiting for things to fall into place? It's important to realize that success is not going to knock on your door. You have to go out and meet it. We all know the saying, you can't hit a target you can't see. But it's also true that you can't hit a target you don't shoot at. How many of us are aiming but not shooting? We have the vision, but we're waiting for the perfect moment to act. Here's the truth: there is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. It's always now. What are you waiting for? Waiting for the right time. Waiting for the perfect circumstances. Waiting for things to be easier. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time. There will never be a moment where everything aligns perfectly without any obstacles. But that's okay. Taking imperfect action is still better than sitting back and waiting for the perfect moment that may never come. When will you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start acting on the moment you have right now? Action is the fuel that drives the law of attraction. When you take inspired action, the universe responds. But here's the catch: action is key. Sitting still won't get you there. No amount of thinking, planning, or wishing will make it happen unless you move. The best way to predict your future is to create it. And you can't create your future by sitting still. You have to move. So, let's break it down. What small action can you take today to move closer to your goals? It doesn't matter how big or small the action is. What matters is that it's a step forward. The beauty of action is that it doesn't have to be monumental. It just needs to be taken consistently. Maybe it's sending an email, making a phone call, writing down your goals, or even just committing to a new habit. These small actions, when taken consistently, build momentum. Momentum is what propels you toward success. How much time do you spend overthinking instead of taking action? How often do you get stuck in analysis paralysis? Overthinking can paralyze you, but action cuts through that paralysis. Once you start, things begin to flow. The path becomes clearer. You might not have all the answers right away, but you'll figure it out along the way. Progress is made through consistent action, not by waiting for the perfect plan to materialize. The best plans are often created through action, not before it. Are you waiting for the universe to send you a sign? The sign is right in front of you. It's the next step you need to take. It's the phone call you need to make. It's the work you need to put in. It's the hustle, the grind, and the commitment to your vision. When you take action, you signal the universe that you're serious. You show the world that you're not just talking about success. You're doing the work to bring it into your life. When you take action, you communicate to the world that you're ready for success. But are you ready? Let's think about momentum for a moment. How do you build momentum? Momentum isn't something that comes by wishing for it. It's built by taking consistent action. Imagine a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but the more it rolls, the bigger it gets. Action is the same way. The more you act, the bigger your momentum becomes, and soon, that momentum will carry you through obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. Here's a key to remember: action is the language of the universe. When you act, you send a message to the world that you're serious about your dreams. The universe responds to your energy and effort. It's like sending out a signal that says, I'm ready for the opportunities that will help me achieve my dreams. The more action you take, the more success comes your way. It's that simple. Here's a thought. What small action can you take right now that will help you start building momentum? Maybe it's reading a chapter of a book that helps you grow. Maybe it's connecting with someone who can support your journey. Maybe it's signing up for a course or starting that project you've been putting off. Small steps, consistent steps. The key is that you move. Don't just work for money. Work for knowledge. Work for growth. Work for discipline. Work for a better you. These are all actions that will help you become the person who attracts success. And when you work on yourself, success will be attracted to you. What are you doing today to work on yourself? Are you investing in your skills? Are you pushing yourself to grow every day? Because when you commit to personal development, everything else starts to fall into place. Success follows those who constantly evolve and improve. I want to ask you again, are you working on yourself every single day? Success doesn't come to the person who waits for it. It comes to the person who acts, who grows, and who becomes. If you want to attract success effortlessly, you need to make sure that you're doing the work, not just waiting for it to come to you. Success is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice and action. And if you take action today, you will be closer to your dreams tomorrow. Are you ready to take action?